So, let's talk about great films that got left hanging. These films had everything: style, cult followings, and the potential for so much more.
You've got to be kidding.
But they were left hanging. I know. Not every movie becomes a franchise.
That's the end of that.
But some absolutely should have.
This is the commitment I expect.
Show me the power! Lousy crumbs! Let him have it!
Let's start with a movie that had all the ingredients of a franchise,
Lived here long.
yet somehow ended up
It's the blind man!
a one-and-done relic. Disney's 1991 The Rocketeer was nothing less than a love letter to pulp adventure.
It's all part of a show!
It had a charming lead, a charismatic villain, and Jennifer Connelly playing a vintage pinup straight out of a comic strip. Yup, it had it all. Everything except better marketing. The movie didn't flop, but that jetpack didn't soar either.
I like it.
So, Disney shelved the jetpack, killed any plans of a sequel, and moved on to bigger and greener things. Like Flubber. Think about that for a second. $36 million budget,
You bring me that rocket, and I'll double your price.
and it made $46 million domestically.
You'll triple my price.
Geez, Toasterhead had it rough. We could have had a Golden Age superhero trilogy years before Iron Man ever touched a wrench. Instead, The Rocketeer faded into cult status, beloved by fans, but, like many others, forgotten by execs.
Get in the car.
It had style, heart, and sky-high potential, and it deserved a franchise. Cliff's Accord flew once, and we never saw him again. Next up is a bit of a campy gem that almost got a sequel. Now, before Carl Urban grimaced his way through the law, Sylvester Stallone shouted it. In '95, we got Judge Dredd, a sci-fi action movie,
Knew you'd say that.
part dystopian epic, part accidental comedy. It also co-starred Rob Schneider, because 90s logic said nothing screams dystopian justice like Deuce Bigelow trapped in a food service robot.
Boy, am I glad to see you.
It had cool ideas, corrupt judges, clones, and a grimy cyberpunk world. But then it wrapped them in muscles, shouting, and some of the weirdest tonal shifts since Batman and Robin. Audiences were confused, critics were brutal, and the franchise plans?
Let me guess. Life.
They were executed on sight.
Death.
Here's something I never knew. In the original 2000 AD comics, Dredd never takes off his helmet. He's supposed to be seen as a symbol of justice and not a celebrity. But during the film, he takes it off and keeps it off for the entire movie, which was considered sacrilege to comic fans everywhere. Stallone blamed the studio. The studio blamed the tone. The fans blamed pretty much everything. A $90 million budget and weak word of mouth meant it had no shot of making a profit. That was before DVD sales were even a thing. It wasn't great. It definitely wasn't boring. But sometimes, that's enough. Released in 1994, this movie brought the 1930s pulp hero to life. Before Batman got all brooding and billionaired out, there was The Shadow.
Did you think you'd never see me again?
With trench coats, mind control, and one hell of a fedora. If he ever saves you, you owe him your life.
The shadow knows.
Just remember to answer the secret phrase correctly.
The sun is shining. It will respond, but the ice is slippery.
Style, mystery, the noir flair, and Alec Baldwin back when he looked like a live-action Bruce Wayne. Not even joking. You look at him back then and tell me you don't see Bruce. I mean, he practically nails it. The Shadow could cloud men's minds, basically Jedi mind tricks in pinstripes. He had a backstory, an arch nemesis, a love interest, all set up for a franchise. But with a $40 million budget and only making $48 million in return. Wait, what? Did I read that right? Hang on, The Shadow grossed $48 million worldwide against a $40 million. Okay. Just making sure. Well, I guess The Shadow couldn't compete with disasters and dinosaurs. The weird part is, I think it holds up. The FX are dated, but the style is pretty cool. Critics were lukewarm, audiences were confused, studios got cold feet. It joined the golden graveyard of 90s pulp throwbacks. It may not have done it back then, but it did it for me. Invisible buildings, the maniacal laugh, and the dagger that can stab by itself. And yes, watching Alec peel his own face off still trips me out to this very day. Oh, and if you get the chance to watch Tim Curry being Tim Curry, just know you've been blessed.
Sissy. Come out here and fight like a man.
So if you haven't noticed, in the mid-90s, studios were on a pulp hero kick. Enter a purple-suited jungle avenger who fights crime with nothing but fists, quips, and a skull ring. Kit Walker is the newest descendant of a long line of vigilantes known as
the Phantom. It all began a very long time ago. A small boy watched helplessly as his father was killed by the private leader. Then and there, the boy understood that he was destined to avenge his father's death by fighting piracy, greed, and cruelty in all their forms.
Based on the 1930s comic strip, the Phantom had all the ingredients for a fun, family-friendly franchise. He's got a secret identity with the jungle hideout, a sleek costume passed down for generations, and a skull ring that knocks bad guys out cold.
Legend has it that if the skulls are separated, two of the skulls will point the way to the third. This skull is one of three. When all three skulls are united, they will produce a force more powerful than any army on Earth.
The movie is pure Saturday afternoon energy. Jungle chases, cursed treasure, and Treat Williams, who was so over the top as Xander Drax, the name that starts and ends with an X.
Xander Drax begins and ends with the letter X.
That he actually makes the movie that much better.
I love this!
Instead of launching a trilogy, the Phantom rode straight into the franchise graveyard. Kids really didn't know the character. And critics? Meh at best. Turns out, purple spandex wasn't the superhero look of the decade. Talk about being dressed like an acrobatic grape. The Phantom joined a long list of 90s pulp throwbacks that deserved more, but came too early or maybe too weird. Billy Zane actually crushed the role. I personally think it's a fun movie. Campy, sure, but also kind of iconic, and honestly, it definitely could have worked today.
The sun, it's rising again.
Thanks for watching, it really means a lot. I know a lot of people aren't fans of AI voices, so if you stuck around this far, it really means the world to me. Don't forget, hit that like button, and only if you think I deserve it. Consider subscribing to this channel. Also, check out more of our content. Let me know what shows or movies you're watching in the comments. Till next time.